So you rile it up, Daddy.
Fuck yeah, dude.
All right. And we are live. What is up, everybody? And welcome to episode 38 of the Hot Stove Podcast. I am your host, Zach Nunez, and I'm here with my co-host.
It's Josh. So I was literally, as I started the draft. So it's me.
Just Josh right now.
Commissioner Josh.
I gotta figure out what's going on here when it comes to my Skype window, and how I'm gonna look at this draft as well. So I have it. I'm sharing my screen right now.
I'm gonna just recommend not opening the chat just in case. I hope there's no dogs here.
There might be. So,
all right. First overall,
sharing my whole screen here. You can see the both of us. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, this should normally be an easy pick. I'm just, maybe set up doing our Dynasty League draft tonight.
Can you see what I'm sharing right now?
Yep. Yeah, we got it.
Okay, cool. This is a good window, right? Like, it looks fine?
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, cool. So Josh and I are here. What we're doing right now is at the same time while we'll be going over our NFL season preview. Josh, you have 30 seconds, by the way.
Yep, Yep.
We are also doing at the same time a Dynasty startup fantasy draft. That's a Superflex league. So we'll be talking about the draft while we will also be breaking down our playoff predictors. Josh, did you do one of those?
Yeah, I did one. You go first.
Okay. Don't worry about it. We'll talk about when Austin gets here because I assume Austin did one. He told us about it.
I don't hate it. But
a couple things about this. We're kind of just going to do our week one preview. We're going to talk about big storylines coming in the week. The season starts in 2 days. It's exciting. Football is back, baby. Austin should be here whenever he gets home. He's currently doing illicit activities that I cannot say live on the air.
That's a steal of 3.
So I knew those were going to be the top 3 picks, looking at McCaffrey, Allen, and Mahomes.
Yeah.
I still haven't pinned down who I want to draft.
Is it quarterback, or are you thinking about a running back?
Quarterback. It's either Kyler Murray or Justin Herbert. I just haven't decided what I want to go with, because Kyler Murray is the better fantasy option now.
Yeah.
But I think Justin Herbert might be better set up for the future. And I think I can take that momentary now hit.
Dynasty, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna go with Justin Herbert.
Love it.
So we'll go for like an hour or so, like we normally do, talking about the draft, what we see, what we like, what we don't like, and then we'll break down some of the bigger games this upcoming week. Josh, is there anything in week one that sticks out to you?
Yeah, so I have my I'm in a last man standing this year, and I just went over the lineups, the matchups like this week.
I'm sorry to cut you off. Is that the pool that you do with Trados?
It's not. We didn't do it last year because of the Coco, and then this year our boss it's just too much. Like, honestly, it's so many people, and the problem is no one has accountability to just to actually put in their pick. So he has to text 70 people on Saturday night, and it's just a hassle. So it is not. But I was looking through the matchups, and Taylor at 8. That's nice, or 9. Sorry.
Dude, Lamar Jackson at 8, a super flex. I like that.
Yeah. Big dog.
All right, there we go. We're back.
No, you're good. So, yeah, number one matchup that stands out to me, obviously, I think it's the prime time. It's not, but the big matchup to watch is Kansas City and Cleveland. That one jumped off to me mostly because Cleveland's supposed to be really good. Everyone's been saying it for a while, and their defense got another piece this year, and they get Grant Delpit back, right? Is he the one that was injured, right?
Yes.
Grant?
He didn't play all this year.
Yeah. So, they should just be really good. I don't know. I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see how bad the Raiders can be on Monday night. That should be exciting. And honestly, I want to see the Broncos because I'm close to a Broncos fan, so I always burb on this in the league. I have to hear about the Broncos constantly, and I'm just really hoping the Giants win Week 1,
So,
even in my
what's
division.
funny? I'll talk about it a little bit later when we get into our full discussion on the playoff predictor. But one of the things that stuck out to me the most when I was doing it is how collectively down I've been on the Raiders. Like, it seems like every time I think about them as a team,
Yeah.
my opinion on how I think they're going to be kind of sours more and more. Like, I just have no faith in this team at all, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, my dad runs it, and so he asked for my pick, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll go Ravens." And he goes, "Yeah, against the Raiders on Monday night in Allegiant." And I was like, "Are you a TV exec? Like, why are you trying to book this for me? I don't care about any of that."
Hey,
I go,
Josh,
"Raiders are bad."
I
What's
have a
that?
question. Are there still? Is it still time for me to submit marbles and maybe make a pick for this last man standing?
Oh, uh, let me ask him. Yeah, I'll reach out to him.
Because if so, I would like to put my hat in the ring.
All right, excellent.
Anyways, give me 1 second. I'm gonna text Austin.
Yeah, the running backs. This is the fear. I know you're 4, so you kind of feel it too, but especially me, like on the back, like there's like a guy that I'm looking at maybe, or this guy, or maybe that, but like it gets fucking tough. Are we sorry? This one,
It
sorry.
does and it doesn't. I don't really know how I feel about my strategy coming into the draft because I think I'm in a different dynasty league and it's basically the same roster construction. It's a super flex league, a dynasty league, and we did the start last year. And Lamar Jackson was my first round pick, which is I'm fine with. But the
Yeah.
problem is I don't have any other quarterbacks,
Mm.
so I am starting to question. Like,
When?
for example, I'm looking to take Joe Burrow here if Mark does it. I
Oh,
think
yep.
I think I want to go back-to-back quarterbacks here just because it's such an advantage to have like two good starters, and in particular two good both of these guys were rookies last year.
Yeah.
Like that banks me a little bit of time where I don't have to chase the one random Chad Henne start for years, right? Like in the other dynasty league that I'm in, I have Lamar Jackson, and then my other quarterbacks are Justin Fields, who I took this year in the rookie draft,
Yep.
and Dwayne Haskins is the only other quarterback I have on my roster. So again, it's a super flex league, but I only have one quarterback that I can start week 1. You wanted AJ Brown.
No, did Kels really just fall back to me again? Like I know it's not crazy, but like I kind of I feel like I have to just take the comp.
Yeah, I mean,
He's old though, dog.
he's not that old. He's what, 31, 32?
Yeah, I also just would rather take. Okay, I'm definitely picking this guy.
All right, you got 2 picks here. So
Yeah, I'm definitely taking that guy. That was a guy I wanted. That was like the lock one. Hear me out. I'm actually just building Austin's team from our other dynasty. If I go, if I go Kels, it's between Kels or Ridley. Both of those. That's Austin's 3 core in the other dynasty league. So I think I look back and I was just like, how did this guy get such a good team? And we're gonna draft exactly how this fella did. And I mean, I don't know how old is Kels actually.
I'm starting
Kels
to question
is
what my next pick is going to be. And because so last year, by the way, in my other dynasty, I picked J.K. Dobbins in like the second round.
okay.
And I decided at that moment that I was going to be tanking year 1.
Oof.
And it worked. I did tank. I ended up with the number 4 overall pick. I ended up with number 2. I traded back to number 4 because my team was a mess, and it's still a mess. So I think I'm just going to be tanking again this year. But basically I want to avoid that in this league. You got 15 seconds there, King.
Yeah.
I'm going to want to avoid that in this league. So I'm afraid to take, I'd like to take Kyle Pitts here in the 3rd round. You're going to pick someone or what?
I picked. Maybe I picked Swift.
Yeah, it didn't show up for me. I'm gonna refresh it real quick. All right,
Sure.
there. Yeah. So I want to take Pitts, but because I think he's got the highest upside of the quote unquote positions of need remaining.
Mm-hmm.
But George Kittle is a lot better now. You know what I mean? I think I'm leaning tight end here because I think I've
Just a matter
got
of
picks.
which.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning tight end here, and I assume Kelsey won't be back to me.
Yeah. So I was gonna say, would you go? I mean, if Kelsey's there, that's the pick.
I think so. Yeah.
Ranking those three is always interesting, and Waller too. Some people have.
Yeah.
I mean,
I only have Waller a little bit further down because he's already a little older. He's already 20. He's older than George Kittle.
28.
Yeah, he's 28. Kittle's 27.
Kelsey's 31.
31. Yeah. But so Travis Kelsey probably has.
Time's up. What happens? He gets auto drafted.
He got auto drafted. Travis Kelsey.
Yeah, I mean, all right. There's worse things that could have happened. That's fair.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go. I think my early strategy is gonna be. But here's the problem. I already know kind of who I want to take in the 4th round.
Yep.
There's something going on with this draft here. Because I see in the chat people are just. Oh. Guys in the chat wondering why you got auto picked because you didn't pick anybody. That's why. You can back out his pick, by the way, if that's a thing that he wanted to do. Technically, anybody can do it. I can back out with his pick right now. So we're working through that technical aspect, but what was I going to say? All right, I'm all thrown off now. So basically, thank God. Basically, Travis Kelsey has 2 or 3 more years of elite production left in him.
Yeah.
And again,
miss right now.
I love Kyle Pitts so much, but I think I'm gonna have to go with Kittle.
What is this dude's name? Just so I didn't call him Titan.
His name is Tommy.
Oh, it is Tom. All right.
Yeah.
I don't know why. If it was Titan Tom, I'd go with Titan, not just Tom. But yeah, all right.
He's a Titans fan. And Kyle Pitts goes a couple picks later. Aaron Jones was another guy I was looking at the time. I have mild confidence in my ability to take another running back or take other running backs over the next few rounds or whatever.
Yeah, I kind of realized Stafford is early.
Yes.
That's early. Yeah, I kind of realized doing a bunch of these things that wide receivers really are a dime a dozen. I can get a billion,
especially in a league where it's PPR.
Yeah,
we're in PPR league currently, so
yeah,
I'm not in any rush to pick wide receivers.
Yeah, 100%. A young wide receiver that could be okay this year for me if I had to play him, and then in 2 years he could be a number 2. That's just
I mean, obviously, when you're still in the elite tier, that's a little different.
Yeah,
I'm admittedly shocked that Calvin Ridley hasn't been taken yet.
It is kind of nuts. And the Waller,
especially given Matthew Stafford is already off the board.
Yeah, I will say that guy there is a huge Lions fan, big Stafford guy, anti-Megatron.
Oh, he's that guy, right?
Yeah, hates Megatron, loves Stafford, but also loved Sanders. So it's not a race thing. It's not a. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
He's really convinced that 33-year-old Matthew Stafford has got a lot more left in the tank than 24-year-old Calvin Ridley. Makes sense. Makes perfect sense.
I'd expect Boston to go quarterback here as my guess.
I would assume so. Like I said, I've kind of been scared. I'm the only person with 2 quarterbacks already. I was kind of scared out of not going quarterback because I failed so miserably at quarterback in the other league, and I don't want 2 dynasty leagues where I'm just tanking.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't know that I can. I'm probably going to do it on this comeback, but I don't know that I could get to round 6 without taking another one and still be okay. I might have to just take at that point, I'd have to take Carson Wentz or someone to start just this year or someone, which is not.
You wouldn't be drafting for the future per se.
Yeah, I mean, I want Trey Lance right here. It's probably. And I don't know why he just seems to be the bigger play than Fields in most of these things. I feel like Lance goes earlier.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure why, to be honest with you.
I don't get it. You think it's the running? I think is why.
Yeah, I think there's a perception that Justin Fields isn't that Trey Lance is like this incredible runner compared to Justin Fields, and I don't believe that to be true.
Yeah, I mean Justin Fields also runs the ball. Yeah, I mean you're right. You're very right. I don't know.
I was gonna take Fields with my next pick if he ended up with me, by the way, but I obviously didn't expect him to. So now I got to start looking at who to take next. Probably going to be a running back.
I know this is always weird to ask these types of questions when you're drafting with this person, but how early are you Wow, okay, Denver fan goes with the young Denver guy there. How early is it, do you think, to go for one of those J.K. Dobbins, Travis Etienne's, Cam Akers of the world?
I was thinking about taking Travis Etienne right here.
Okay.
That's my answer to that question.
I mean, yeah, that's a valid, yeah.
But I don't think I will.
This is, as someone who did a dynasty last year for the first time with partially, it's a half young guy, half boomer, most of our dads are in the league. The first 4 rounds are just massively different. Not only in terms of quarterbacks being taken, but the running back's about the same. But then young people being taken, for example, the Pitts, Chase, even CD being taken so high, I feel like is a little out there than what would have happened last year, or Jefferson, Chase. It's just a better league. Javonte Williams being going this early, Trevor Lawrence, that just didn't happen last year.
Yeah, I still gotta go with Josh Jacobs there. I have too much faith in the talent as a player.
Yeah.
I just think that and look, maybe when John Gruden gets fired next year or something like that, or when he doesn't resign and goes and plays for a team that knows what the hell they're doing, Josh Jacobs is talented. So he's still only 23 years old. So
much respect.
Yeah, I'm just afraid of drafting old people, basically.
Fudge
in the A.
Effing A, Cotton. Effing A. How early do you take? Nah, I mean, DeSean Watson's going to play again, right? I mean, what are you talking about?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question, Josh.
All right. Hear me out. I'm really thinking through something here.
Okay. Is this 3 wide receivers?
Nah. Oh, damn. I hate Fudge.
It is.
I feel like I set you up. To ask that question. And then I'm like, I was going to take Etienne and Dobbins here, but I think Dobbins can fall. And then, because in my other league, I'm also making up for past leagues in which, sorry, how old is this guy? He's 24, he's 27. I'm making up for past leagues where my dynasty, I have Devin Singletary running the ball this year, and that's it.
Wow. My 2 running backs in this league now that J.K. Dobbins is out are Chase Edmonds and Myles Gaskin. So, which not terrible, but also Myles Gaskin was a waiver wire pickup. He wasn't even drafted in our dynasty league. And I think now it's time to take the man.
Nice.
Who I'm just so convinced that Jerry Jeudy next year or 2 years from now will be looked at as one of the elite wide receivers in the NFL.
I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, he's really good at football. It's not much to say.
Correct.
I've very much embraced the Austin school of running back in this year's drafts, all throughout my drafting.
In what sense?
Even in the one we did, like in what the hell am I trying to say? In our league, in just our non-PPR league, like I'm just stacking running backs everywhere.
Yeah, I mean it's smart. It's the position with the most volatility in it.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I'm going to try and get Myles Gaskin on the way back.
That would be legit.
Did Chris Carson already get taken?
Nope.
Okay, so that's who I was looking at in the last round before I took Jacobs.
Mm-hmm.
I guess in some miracle scenario, if Chris Carson makes it back to me, which he won't, but if that were to happen.
I feel like I'm just pushing down QB here. I have to keep reminding myself that, like, this guy is going to play for your team this year. Like,
yeah. Well, and there's still a few left that I think are like really valuable dynasty assets. Baker, Tua, Zach Wilson.
Mac Jones, if you're into that.
Yeah. And then the rest of them kind of fall into a different category of like, yeah, they'll start for you this year and probably for years to come. Like Carson Wentz, for example.
Derek Carr, yeah.
But they're not like the quarterbacks that, with the exception of the guy who took Stafford and Rodgers, the quarterbacks that have been taken already are all like building block, cornerstone kind of dynasty assets.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens here. Yeah, no, I'm just like afraid of, like I said, I'm afraid of taking old people.
Whoa, I didn't realize that, speaking about old people, I didn't realize, so the Lions guy, this all makes sense, but then he went with Rodgers last year. I didn't see that.
Yeah.
That's an odd go.
I mean, yeah, it is. I was in a different league where Aaron Rodgers got taken in like the first round in a redraft league, which hurts my head.
Marky, my boy.
How we doing, boys?
I can hear whatever you're sitting on, so.
Hey, yeah, I'm in this lounge and there's multiple fans going. It's
Here's a lounge in my. I'm doing.
It's not great.
All right. Mark, how did you talk about how your draft has gone so far? I'm gonna get a snack real quick.
You bastard took Justin Herbert right before I was going to.
Yeah.
Josh came around and took Swift right before I was going to, after taking 38 minutes to draft him.
I told Josh that I was battling in my head between Herbert and Kyler Murray, because I think Kyler Murray is the better option currently, but I think I have more faith in Justin Herbert's situation moving forward. Like I said, I'm very skeptical that Cliff Kingsbury will be around coaching the Cardinals next year. So I don't know. And shout out to DeSean Watson getting taken at 6.1.
That's his first quarterback.
Yes.
Damn, I had Thomas queued up for this round.
You had who queued up?
Michael Thomas.
Yeah, I gotta figure out a couple of situations I got here. There's a couple of picks I'm considering making, based on position need, but I might wait on one of them.
You're before the rest of us. What tight end are you going to draft? Did you pick no man guy?
That may be one of the positions.
Oh, did Gaskin taking you, bitch?
Yeah.
You silly bitch, man. Fuck. Mother. F my A.
F's in the chat.
I am happy with getting Jalen Hurts, though.
Yeah, I mean, hey, Philly guy, you know. He's your QB1.
He's not my QB1. but he's certainly my super flex. I thought he was going to be gone by the time he came around to me. I was going to take Zach Wilson if he was, but luckily he did come around. So,
well, Zach Wilson is still available. So,
does that seem
but
early?
I don't want to draft 3 QBs this early. I'll come around later on and get another one.
What'd you say, Josh?
Does that seem early for Devontae Smith? I mean, he's one of my queued players, so I guess maybe
no, because I was take him. I don't. I think he's I don't see why he went behind T. Higgins, for example. I certainly don't see why he went behind Chris Godwin.
Yeah.
Keenan Allen is getting up there in age. I think rightfully so. We should be putting a lot of faith in a guy who just won the Heisman.
I will say the guy who just bet or picked up Baker 3/4. All right, he's a dog.
He's really getting into this whole Superflex thing.
Yeah, he was one that got into it in the 2 quarterback league last season. So he loves his QBs. The Baker team, by the way, that kid is like 13 years old, but apparently, quote, he's a dog. So, my
He's got
buddy,
a pretty good draft going so far.
he does. Yeah, Nick was like, I'm like, but he gets like it's a dynasty. Yeah, dude. All he does is watch Sports Center and football. And I was like, all right, I get it, guys. Like I should have been doing dynasty leagues when I was 9. Yeah, like I get it. That's all. I just read football. Yeah.
Right.
Ooh, can't make.
Mark, it's your pick, by the way.
Yes, I'm aware, and I'm still debating slightly.
Dude, Michael Parker is still there, dude. Nothing to debate.
What did you say?
I said take the whole fam.
No, I'm not going to do it.
Ooh.
Oh, thank God. Remember when I said I wanted to take Chris Carson 2 rounds ago, Josh?
Yep. Money.
Still available. So. That made me rock hard.
I like Kareem Hunt as a player, not so much a human being, but I'm willing to overlook that in this fantasy draft.
Time's ticking on him being able to get a job all to himself, though, right? I mean, he's what, already 26, 27? Tom Brady.
That was probably going to be my pick. I'm looking at someone. I don't really like any of these young guys, to be completely honest with you. I have Tua in my other one, and I've been trying to convince myself that Tua is going to be very good, and it gets harder and harder every day to actually believe that the guy can actually play.
Trey Lance and Tom Brady is a very interesting quarterback combination.
That's true.
Not as crazy as Mahomes and Mac Jones. Not nearly as
Oh my! Mac Jones going already?
rookie quarterback, dude. And I don't like Tua, so.
He's desperate.
Every mock draft I've been a part of in this format had Mac Jones going in the 13th round.
I mean, I don't know. I need a quarterback. I don't want any of the Cousins, Wentz, Danny Dimes, Jameis, even Goff. None of those guys make me horny. Mac Jones, mind you, moving this camera up a little bit with Mac Jones.
Awesome.
I mean,
Austin.
Do we have Austin?
I saw that he joined.
Oh wow.
Speaking of which, do I take Carson Wentz here? Kind of get my whole third quarterback thing figured out and just move on?
Yeah, I mean, just seal a deal.
Because I'm not in love with many of these players, and I'm assuming I was looking wide receiver otherwise, and I assume at least one of, if not a couple of these wide receivers that are here are going to be gone by my next pick kind of guys will probably still be there the next time my draft spot comes around. So yeah, I'll take Carson Wentz.
Nice.
And I still believe that Carson Wentz can be good. So
More power to you, brother.
Also, Austin said he's working on it. I can't be heard working on it. So.
It's bad.
All right, I have to be being heard.
There you go.
We did it.
Oh, Mark, big Eagles guy.
Sorry, I just insulted this guy picking at 12, picking DeSean Watson as his QB1 for like 8 times in a row until I realized I wasn't being heard.
Okay, so now you want to do it? Or you want to insult him now? Or
No, I'll let him go. Okay. He's good. I missed my chance.
I'd like to let it be known, by the way, with a lot of people drafting currently, I have 2 guys so far through 7 picks that won't play this year. So, talk about something.
Yeah.
You're set up for the future, man.
Yeah, dude, I'm tanking already.
Who says Swifty?
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, Swift might not even play week 1 either. I mean,
no, Dan Campbell said today that he's going to be playing next week or in week 1.
Oh, facts.
Josh looking for those back-to-back number 1 overall picks,
Yeah, he's a real big Spencer Rattler fan.
Yeah.
Huge.
He loves the albino Pat Mahomes. He's ready to take him next year.
We're on the clock. We're really going to try and burn this guy behind me here.
Ooh, Tua Tagovailoa.
That must have pained you somewhere deep.
Yeah, but I mean, a 7-11 for a second-year quarterback feels okay to me.
You loathe that guy, though.
Just wait until I take Daniel Jones with my next pick, all right?
Yeah, he's left-handed, so of course I hate him.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
But, Austin, how are you feeling about your team so far?
I love it. I'm a win now guy, and I'm fully in on win now.
It does look like that, yeah.
I
was still I'm not really, still haven't been able to pin down like a strategy that I want. I'm kind of straddling between wanting to win this year and building myself for the future, my first 2 picks being second-year quarterbacks. Yeah, I still haven't quite buffed that out, but,
There's just some, oh my gosh, he's got to go quarterback here.
No.
Nah, don't. He's still got a loser.
This is just lunacy to me that, like, we're taking Jalen Waddle over Robert Woods. Robert Woods is 27 years old.
Yeah, Robert Woods is
building young. Look at his team. The oldest guy on his team's like 28.
Sam Darnold.
Dawn.
Watson and Darnold. This guy does not care about quarterback play.
Which is interesting because it's the most important position in fantasy, and you start 2 of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Robert Woods. I don't know how he made it that far, but I got to start looking at wide receiver here, given we start 3 of them, and I only have 1 through 7 rounds.
Hey, dude, same here. Oh, that's a great pick.
So Austin, you did a playoff predictor, right? All right, good talk.
Yes, he did. Sorry, he's not answering.
I was gonna ask him about it, but he seems to have disappeared again. So
I started one. I haven't finished it yet.
Well, your name isn't Austin, but I appreciate the input.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I didn't do it.
Josh didn't do it at all. So
I'll tell you my playoff teams right now. Dallas Cowboys. That's
we know the playoff teams. That wasn't the
Dallas Cowboys.
We did this whole bit on the podcast when we previewed the conferences. We know who you think are making the playoffs.
Yep.
Austin.
Nobody knows any of my playoff teams.
Did you do a playoff predictor?
I did.
Okay. Was there anything that surprised you while you were doing it? Loosely.
Surprised me. No, I mean, I have the Dolphins as a playoff team. That's what surprised me, and I hate Tua, so that's what surprised me. But I felt like they had a lot of winnable games on their schedule.
Yeah, what surprised me is how quickly I reneged on the whole Patriots are making the playoffs thing.
Yes.
When I went and did it, probably a couple days ago, I think I did the playoff predictor. I have them in the mix, but I have the Broncos beating them out and making the playoffs.
That's exactly what I have. I have the Broncos as a 7 seed and I have the Patriots winning 8 games.
I have the Patriots winning 8 or 9 games. I can't remember in particular. I'll look at it right now. 9 games. Yeah.
Ooh, Michigan Chanel, good pick.
Yeah, I was looking to take Chanel.
I was going to too, so I went with the other Jacksonville receiver.
Juju. Yeah.
Now the question is where I go from here.
Daniel Jones.
Otherwise,
Yeah, I'm wondering the same thing there, partner.
Otherwise known as my wee small.
This is where the draft really gets interesting, and there's no such thing as a reach anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm trying to convince myself that because I don't want to take Adam Thielen right now, but I need a wideout.
Certainly not going to fall back to you.
Oh,
Not that
yeah.
I would take him.
And
I
done.
actually don't mind that.
All right, I know who I'm taking.
Wow, receivers
Futures,
flying off.
running back of the
glad
New
I
York
got my
Jets.
best line for this.
What was I gonna say? Okay, so Josh, did you do your FanDuel lineup? You didn't do that either, did you?
I had a long day of nothing.
Yeah. Okay. But when I said earlier you should do a FanDuel lineup before the show tonight.
You got that.
Anywho, that's what we'll do right now while we're kind of winding down here. I don't want to take too much of everybody's time. I mean, there's not really much for us to break down, I guess. But we started doing FanDuel instead of picks last year, right? Like we didn't do our game picks or anything last year. We just did the FanDuel contest.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna keep. That's how we'll keep doing it. There's no sense in going back to doing something that was stupid. So we're gonna break down our FanDuel lineups for this weekend, and then we'll get you out of here in under like 45 minutes. It'll be great. It'll be fantastic. Excellent, if you will. So who does anybody in particular want to start? Since when is Antonio Brown questionable? It's Tuesday. There's a knee injury.
Oof.
Oh God.
I really was looking at Michael Pittman. What a tragedy.
Guys are bum.
Tragedy strikes here on this draft.
Anyways, does anybody want to go first in talking about their FanDuel lineup for this week?
I'll go first. I don't know. I can barely hear you guys too. I don't know. My Skype is exploding. So is that Mark who said he'd go first?
Yes, that was Mark.
Yes, that was me.
You got it.
All right. I'm going with a couple of interesting stacks here. A couple of teams I think won't be very good, but I think have very favorable first week matchups. I'm going with Trevor Lawrence, James Robinson, and Laviska Shenault against Houston. Houston stinks. I think this Jacksonville offense will be good enough for this to rack up some points. I also went with 2 Atlanta Falcons facing my Philadelphia Eagles. I've got Mike Davis and Kyle Pitts. Lord knows the Eagles can't stop tight ends, and I'm looking for Kyle Pitts to get a fair share of targets this week. And then, I saved a little money. So my other 2 wide receivers are DK Metcalf and Devontae Adams. Always solid pick. I think I had DK Metcalf in 16 FanDuel lineups last year. And my flex is Dalvin Cook with the Buffalo Bills defense, because we all know that defense doesn't matter.
Well, that's interesting given Dalvin Cook doesn't play the Buffalo defense this week. They play the Bengals, but...
Yep.
I said and the Buffalo defense.
Oh, and the Buffalo.
Yeah.
Sorry. I thought he meant like he's playing them against the Buffalo defense. I was like, that's not...
No. I've got Buffalo's defense.
Gotcha. Okay. Austin, why don't you go next?
All right. I actually went stackless at the quarterback position this week, but you can do that with one exception, is if you have a running quarterback, and I went Kyler Murray in what I think is going to be a 30-something game. I don't think either defense is amazing, and I think both offenses are pretty darn good. So I expect Kyler Murray to get 1 or 2 rushing touchdowns, which is why I don't mind going stackless there. Then my running backs went Dalvin Cook and Raheem Mostert. Dalvin Cook because I expect them to dominate from start to finish and feed him the ball pretty much the entire game. And Raheem Mostert because Detroit seems like a team that gives up big plays because, well, they stink. Let's just be honest. They're very bad. And Raheem Mostert's a big play guy. I also stacked him with the 49ers defense. I like to do a little running back defense stack sometimes if I feel like it's going to be a complete domination of a game. And that's one I do think it's going to be there. My wide receivers are not amazing. They're young. I went Laviska Shenault against Houston, like Mark. CeeDee Lamb against Tampa Bay because I think now with Zach Martin out, I think there's going to be a lot of passing instead of feeding Zeke against a good defensive front. And I think CeeDee Lamb will be the beneficiary there. And then I went with Robbie Anderson in his revenge game against the Jets. Not really because of a revenge game, but I think it's a good matchup. I think he's actually going to be their most targeted receiver for the first couple of weeks. He's going to be their possessions guy, and so I like him to get in the end zone with good rapport with his quarterback. Then my tight end and flex, both on the same team, a little stack action, touchdown-dependent characters here, Robert Tonyan and Mr. Aaron Jones. I might change Aaron Jones out for Joe Mixon, but I do like Aaron Jones to get in the end zone, even though he's against a good rushing defense.
I thought you were going to say Devontae Adams because you have him in – you take him
every lineup. Yeah.
Oh, we're back in my spot here. Give me 1 second. I'm going to draft Brandon Cooks. People forget how young this man still is. He's only 27.
Yep, and if he gets a quarterback back, or they might just trade him
or
this
when
year.
they trade him to his in the last decade.
Yeah.
Then, I'm a big Brandon Cooks guy. Josh, I still haven't figured out my lineup, so can you do your thing?
I'm almost done, nearly done.
Okay, that's good to hear. Damn. Give me 1 second. I'm just trying to fit things into the money, basically. I have an idea of what I want. I might just leave it with 500 on the table. This is great. This is great podcasting, right?
Now I'm up, and I need a running back here for the season, actually. Swift, Gibson, and Henderson. Really love Devin Singletary. Gus Edwards would be a Band-Aid on a much bigger problem here. I really care for him.
Woody, though?
I think so. Also don't have a tight end yet.
You don't feel like you need a receiver of any sort here?
I know what you're talking about here, and I get it.
Cooper being
Also,
injury prone and
all
quit
right,
prone.
I go with mine. I go with my lineup.
Hear me out. Receivers don't matter.
All right, so
Okay.
I'll go with my lineup here. It's a little more disjointed than I really wanted it to be. I have one primary game stack, and that is my pick for also my big tournament lineups this week, because I think a lot of people are going to be focusing on the give me 1 second while I make this pick here. Going to be focusing on like the excuse me, the oh god, they're going to be focusing on the Tennessee Arizona game, the the God, I'm blanking for words. The Green Bay New Orleans game. They're going to be focusing on the Cleveland Kansas City game, and I think my other than the Eagles Falcons game, I think my game that's most likely to shoot out this week is going to be the Minnesota Cincinnati game. Maybe it's because as I discussed in the show not too long ago, I'm pretty down on Minnesota's defense this year from what I've seen so far in the preseason. So, and I obviously don't think that Cincinnati's defense is any good. So what we'll be doing here is we will be doing a little game stack with that. So I have Joe Burrow and Tyler Boyd on the Cincinnati side, and we're going to run it back with Justin Jefferson. I think he benefits the most from not having any tight ends around at the moment, with the exception of Chris Herndon. he's going to come in and steal.
Whoa, man. Chris Herndon's still a beast.
So usually this is where I'd say I had a secondary game stack, and I don't at the moment. I might tinker with the lineup a little bit even after the episode. Le'Veon Bell just signed to the Ravens practice squad, if anybody was wondering. Not that it matters all that much, but I just saw the breaking news. So outside of those, I since it's an all-week lineup, I do like to put in players from each of the primetime games, just so I feel a little included. So I've got Mike Evans with both Chris Godwin and Antonio Brown being banged up now. I think Mike Evans could be in a good spot, I don't know, against the Dallas defense. And then on Monday night, I've got Gus Edwards against the Raiders, who I told Josh that when I was doing my playoff predictor, the thing I noticed the most was how bad I thought the Raiders are.
Yes, agreed.
So I think Baltimore might just run through them. And then for the Sunday night game, Chicago and Los Angeles, the Bears and the Rams, I have Tyler Higbee at the tight end spot. Mostly because I don't know as if that game is going to be all that competitive. And Tyler Higbee is a good target. I don't know. He can catch a touchdown. I mean, it's cheap. That's basically what it is. Cheap. He can catch a touchdown. Boom. And then my other two players, my second running back is Chris Carson. I went with him against Indianapolis. Another game where I think Chris Carson is perpetually underrated, admittedly. So I am excited to get him at the $6,700 price point that he's at, which is less expensive than guys like Josh Jacobs, less expensive than Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I like him more than both of those guys this week, so I'll be happy to take him. And then I had enough money left over for Alvin Kamara as my flex. It's not necessarily going to be the best game script, I don't think, for them, but Alvin Kamara gets 9,000 touches a game, and they should score points and they'll funnel the offense through them. So I'm not all that concerned about it. And then I went with my smash play defense of the week. Normally I don't care about what defense I end up having, but this week I couldn't avoid the fact that I'm just convinced that the Broncos are going to score like 2 defensive touchdowns off of the Giants. Like that game might be a slaughter. So I feel like I have to get Denver's defense into all of my lineups this week and just see what happens. So that's what I end up with my defense. Other than that, that has been our lineups. We'll update you guys next week on how we finished in the standings as we begin our push for the Josh, I forgot I went before Josh. My bad.
It's all good. Sorry, yeah, normally close this out. I was a little lazy. Mine's quick though. Mine's easy. I did go heavy stack. Thursday night game. I went with the all too cheap Dallas superstars, Dak Prescott, Amari Cooper, and CeeDee Lamb. I think that thing's going to be just a shootout on Thursday night. I think there's a reason why it's going to be the most exciting game of the week. It'll be a fun one. I went with cheap running backs. That's normally what I like to do. I went with Gus Edwards, just due to quantity. Sorry, not that he's very good in my mind, but hey, Gus Bus, whatever. Dalvin Cook and Joe Mixon at the flex.
I'd like to say that, by the way, Gus Edwards is in fact very good. You want to hear a fun stat about Gus Edwards?
Sure.
He's the only running back in NFL history to average at least 5 yards a carry, with at least 900 yards in his first 3 NFL seasons, or something like that. Anyways, continue.
So somebody thinks he's good at least. I don't know. And then I went with Stephon Diggs. And my sneaky good tight end that I might have to draft now because, I mean, Jesus H, everyone's going off. I'm going to save my sleeper tight end to pick, but I guess I have to pick one of them because, yeah. So my tight end, Gerald Everett, who, I mean, they're saying that Russ really likes him, so yes. I'm buying it. And I'm all in on that connection. And then my pick at defense, same as Mark's, I will go in harder here, and I will say that I picked the Bills because the Steelers are a rotting franchise, and I swear to God, if they win 5 games, I'll be shocked. I will be
Okay.
my hat shocked if they win 5 games.
That's just crazy talk.
That
That's
offense couldn't put up 14
They have too much
points
talent
on
to
me,
win
Nunez
only
on the
5
line.
games.
No.
Sorry, less than 5 games.
That offense has less offensive playmakers than a team of us 4.
Okay.
Their
Anyways,
team sucks.
I'm probably gonna go back and change my lineup, admittedly. So I'll update on the show next week with what I ended up with, because I already have a feeling that I'm not sitting very well with what I'm doing. Anywho, that was Josh's lineup. That's the 4 of our lineups. Yeah, man. Oh, by the way, Josh, before we head out, did you see this match, this quarterfinal match in the U.S. Open
Tonight or yesterday?
Tonight? Layla Fernandez. She's a 19-year-old from Canada.
Did she end up winning?
Yes, she did.
I had it. I turned off after Svitolina broke back to go 5-4, and
Yeah,
I did.
it ended up going to a tiebreak in the 3rd set, and she won.
That's electric.
It was
wouldn't die.
What'd you say?
That girl just would not die. That Canadian girl's got fire in her.
Yeah,
it's fun
no,
to
I
watch.
watched it, and this is one of the matches that got me really excited to watch. It was a great match, just eternal back and forth. It was really exciting. I watched the whole thing.
Were you on Brooksby last night?
But no, I was not.
The Pulse of America radiated with Brooksby last night, taking the first set. I told Austin about this match for probably a week out, that I was like, just watch the round of 16. It's going to be this Brooksby kid and Joker, and he's going to win. After taking the first set, I was really happy about myself, and then, it's Joker.
He didn't win. Yeah.
Yeah, Joker had 11 unforced errors in the first set. That doesn't happen. So.
Yeah. So, it's been exciting.
First at 6-1. What an animal.
What'd you say?
6-1 was the first set. Guy's a beast.
Damn.
Brooksby's second serve, by the way, 78 miles per hour.
Oh my gosh.
That's not great.
No, his serve sucks. For an American especially, it's brutal.
All right.
Borderline, not even pro level.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to get out of here. A couple things before we head out. I didn't even do it at the start of the show. This episode sucks. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at HotStovePod. That's at HotStovePod on Twitter. And then here on the YouTube side, make sure to smash the like button, smash the follow button, the subscribe button, smash the notification bell as well. Look at Josh's chest, apparently, and leave a comment if you feel like commenting. That being said, trust me, we'll get better as the NFL season goes along, especially with the FanDuel lineups. I know I fumbled my words 1 trillion times over. He's doing the Stone Cold bit, which I want to do so badly in real life. I want to where there's one time at a party or something else or a wedding. I want to.
Everyone does, right?
Yeah. It looks so fun.
It does. We'll do it together.
But we'll get better with our FanDuel lineups. We're gonna start. Damn it, Austin! I was gonna pick Gabe Davis in this round. You meanie. Yeah, we'll get better. We'll start putting out more regular episodes because we do want to keep doing other content outside of just covering the NFL. But the NFL is going to take up a lot of our time here on the main show. So during the season, I would say look out for more After Dark content. Let's put it that way. But for Josh and Austin, Mark is already gone. I'm Zach. We love you. Thank you for watching this abortive episode of the Hot Stove Podcast, and we will see you next week.
Peace.